Welcome to this part 2 of this recording on Dr. Akombe issue and her family and the security. On to it right away. So why would the dark forces not want Akombe to leave the country days after the elections? I mean, the Supreme Court judgment had not yet come through. Yes. So why not want her to leave the country? Why? What would the reason be? There can only be one answer, and a lot of people guessed it on social media. The only reason would be that the dark forces feared that she would spill the beans. What beans? She would actually be able to tell the world exactly what happened on August 8th. Yes. The interference with the elections by the powers that be. Yes. And that would be detrimental, because if she's, this is Dr. Akombe is, as I told you, holds 2 nationalities. If she went, for example, to a major international, maybe she went to another country in the US, and called a press conference, you can imagine what would happen, how embarrassing it would be. Yes. So I'm sure this was the fear, which brings us to something else that we need to understand. It would seem that the 2 kinds of commissioners. There are commissioners who toe the line and who the dark forces would have no problem with. Yes. Those ones are on the side of the powers that be. Yes. In fact, in fact, those are the ones who are used a lot to bypass a lot of these obstacles that would come in the way of these people fulfilling the objectives against the will of the Kenyan people. And then there are those commissioners, very few, who are against what is being done. They resist, but they have really got nothing, there's nothing they can do about it. Yes. And therefore they're unwilling co-conspirators. Now, if you want to know the people who are on the government side, you just look at the list of commissioners who objected to the famous Chebukati memo. Okay, and then you have your names there. Yeah. Now, is this thing of threatening the families of IEBC commissioners new? Actually, no, it's not new. If I can take you back to the year 2007, we had the boss of the ECK then, Electoral Commission of Kenya. That's the body which was there before the IEBC was constituted. Kivuitu was also quite a tough guy. Many people don't know this. He actually tried to resist, and at one point he let it slip to a member of the media that his family was being threatened. Okay, now part of that report appeared in a section of the media then, and then what happened next is that Bwana Kivuitu kept his mouth shut, and things moved on smoothly. Okay, so this is really nothing new. You can only resist so much, because these dark forces know exactly what they're doing, which makes me wonder when you hear that the IEBC asking for more security. Yes, they're asking for more security against who? Number one. Number two, my second question, this security they're asking for is from where? Because if that security is from the same government which is giving orders to the same dark forces, hiyo ni security aina gani kweli? I believe I mentioned this point earlier. You remember when we were discussing the threats which the late Chris Kumekucha received, and he said he talked to a colleague or a friend, whatever, who understood security, and they advised him to go and report it to the police. And you remember I told you that when you get threats from some certain quarters, the police will not help you. The police will not help you. The only thing that can help you is for you to find a way to leave the country pronto, which is exactly what Akombe's brother and her family, Akombe's brother and the family have done. Okay. Also interesting to note, we're informed that that family, well, of course, the names have not been released, but I guess it's not hard to find out. I've not yet been able. I was doing this recording very quickly, and anyway, I don't think it's in the interest of the Akombe family, in the interest of the vast majority of us Kenyans, to publicize the identity of that family that has fled the country. But you will notice that it took them 8 days to get to the country where they are seeking political asylum, I'm sure. Yeah, 8 days. That can only mean they did it by road, because through the border of Namanga into Tanzania, they crossed the border to another country and another 4 countries before they reach that country. I have a very good guess of which country that is, and I'm sure you do. Okay, but I think let's just leave it at that. But maybe we need to add, naturally, it needs to be a country where these people cannot get to them. Okay, now this is a very ugly situation. I've been in it many times, whereby you are fleeing for your life and you need to take various things into consideration. Okay, one of them is the fact that always remember, whichever country you're in, the dark forces can still get to you. Yep. Of course, they are limited. They are much more limited outside Kenya than they are within the country, but they can still get to you. Okay. Now, if I can give you an example, we have a neighbor called Rwanda, and that man who leads that country is called Kagame. He's quite a serious guy. Yeah. Some opponents of his government some years back fled the country, and they were assassinated in a foreign country. Yes. Yeah. So I guess, we need to keep the Akombes in our prayers. The commissioner herself says her life is in danger. Okay, she's under a lot of pressure. And I keep wondering, if it is true that the government won the election confidently on the 8th of August, hii maneno yote ni ya nini? If it is true that they have popular support right across the country, if it is true that they have the numbers, what is all this, if I can use a word they really like, what is all this circus about? What is it about? Gosh, I don't know. I just don't know. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.